Just give a minute or so and then we'll start.
What is on it? Let's see.
Is everyone able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution?
Yes.
Yeah. All good.
Okay, I think we have everybody on, the council member, the mayor, and some department head. We'll go ahead and start. I would like to call the city caucus meeting to order for Monday, March 30th, 2020. We have 15 items for original consideration. If the clerk can read item number 1.
Item number 1 for original consideration, a resolution amending and adopting the City of Schenectady procurement policy effective January 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2021.
Roll call.
Roll call. Okay. Item number 2, if the clerk can read.
Item number 2 for original consideration, a resolution adopting Section 3 contract.
Ms. Michael, we're having a bad feedback from your end. We're not able to hear your
Mr. President,
item.
may I request that everyone mute their phones that are not speaking at the time? It really makes a big difference.
If you don't mind, and if you have a roll call item, we can just you could just unmute and then call it in or text me. Please mute your connection. Ms. Michael, can you please repeat item number 2?
Item number 2 for original consideration, a resolution adopting Section 3 contracting policy and procedures.
Has joined the meeting.
Discussed in committee without objection on consent.
A participant has joined the meeting.
Item number 3, if the clerk can read.
Item number 3 for original consideration, resolution authorizing the equipment transfer agreement with General Electric Company.
Discussed in committee without objection on consent. Item number 4, if the clerk can read.
Item number 4 for original consideration, resolution authorizing the sale of close.
We lost your connection there. Ms. Michael, you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
No, we're not hearing you all the time. Can you please repeat the last item that you were reading?
Item number 4 for original consideration, a resolution authorizing the sale of 19 Close Street.
Discuss in committee without objection on consent. Item number 5.
Item number 5 for original consideration, a resolution authorizing the sale of 34 Henry Street.
Discuss in committee without objection on consent. Item number 6.
Item number 6 for original consideration, a resolution authorizing the sale of 66 Linden Street.
Discuss in committee without objection on consent. Item number 7.
Item number 7 for original consideration, a resolution authorizing the sale of 111 Edward Street.
Discuss in committee without objection on consent. Item number 8. If the
Sheila
clerk can please read.
Buchanan.
Has joined the meeting.
Item number 8 for original consideration, a resolution authorizing the sale of 414 Schenectady Street.
Discuss in committee without objection on consent. Item number 9.
Item number 9 for original consideration, a resolution authorizing the sale of 417 Second Street.
Discuss in committee without objection on consent. Item number 10.
Item number 10 for original consideration, a resolution authorizing the sale of 525 Lang Street.
Discuss in committee without objection on consent. Item number 11.
Item number 11 for original consideration, a resolution authorizing the sale of 919 Delamont Avenue.
Discuss in committee without objection on consent. Item number 12, if the clerk can please read.
Item number 12 for original consideration, a resolution authorizing the sale of 1064 Hegeman Street.
Discuss in committee without objection on consent. Item number 13, if the clerk can read.
Item number 13 for original consideration, a resolution authorizing the issuance of revocable permit number 652 to 208 Front Street, LLC for a sign that overhangs the city's right-of-way at 208 Front Street.
Discuss in committee without objection on consent. Item number 14, this will be approved this evening and presented on a later date, if the clerk can read.
Item number 14 for original consideration, a resolution recognizing April as Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Discuss in committee without objection on consent. Under contract and supply, we have one item, and if the clerk can please read item number 15.
Item number 15, under contract and supply, a resolution awarding the bid and awarding the contract for Phase 2 of the improvements to A Diamond to Carver Construction Incorporation for the amount of $412,250.
May I ask, is $424,250 and not $412?
I have. Hold on, let me check. It's $424,250.
Thank you. If there's nothing else more to come before the City Council caucus, I ask for a motion to adjourn. Motion by
So moved by Lisa.
Second by
Carmel. Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I would like to call the city council meeting to order for Monday, March 30th, 2020. And since we're doing these meetings via teleconference, we opted to not have the invocation and the pledge. I will ask the clerk for the approval for minutes from March 9th, 2020. May I have a motion?
So moved. It's Karen ZW.
Second by
I'll second again. It's Carmel.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I would like to ask the clerk communication and petition.
Communications presented to the City Council for Monday, March 30th, 2020. Under official, there were none. Under general, there were none. And under petitions, there were none.
Thank you. I just missed one item. Can you please do the roll call?
Mr. Kosher? Are they muted?
John, can you hear me?
Oh, there
Yes,
go.
we can.
Okay, I'm here. Thank you.
Miss Porterfield?
Here, can you hear me?
A participant has left the meeting.
Miss Zaluski-Welzunis?
Here.
Miss Perazzo?
Present.
Miss Patrick?
Here.
Mr. Palomini?
Here.
Mr. Mutaverin?
Present.
Okay.
Thank you. I would like to call on my colleagues for committee reports. Any committee reports?
Has left the meeting.
Thank you. Moving on, privilege of the floor related to legislative agenda. Since this is a teleconference, I would like to ask the public to please submit their comments to our city clerk for consideration and to be added to the minutes. Approval of the legislative consent agenda. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Kosher, I'll move.
Oh, I'll second. Karen.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you.
What about the items for roll call?
Yes, I am getting to that.
Coming up.
Okay.
We have one item for roll call. And if the clerk can please read item number 1.
Item number 1 for original consideration, a resolution amending and adopting the City of Schenectady's procurement policy effective January 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2021.
May I have a motion?
Ed Kosher, I'll move.
I'll second.
Second. Any discussion? Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Mr. Kosher?
Yes.
Miss Porterfield?
I'd like to explain my vote. So, first of all, this is a purchasing policy for the entire city, and all the members of the city council should have been included in crafting the language and providing feedback. The last time I saw this piece of legislation was on March 9th when Council President Mutaverin pulled it from the agenda. It had passed out of the committee on March 2nd, and I found out on March 9th that Mr. Mutaverin said he was pulling it to bring it back to committee so we could hear from other entities that wanted to help, which made sense. Specifically, he said, and I quote, "The majority of the council members required that the procurement policy be held for another cycle to further discussion to allow a presentation from our local union body." Mr. Gardner withheld information from us which we need to hear before moving forward. I have the right to facilitate this request and to make make sure everyone is given the opportunity needed. If there was further discussion after that, I'm not aware of that. I was never made aware of or invited to any meetings to discuss any potential changes to the procurement policy, and nor did I receive any recommended changes. We received our council package on March 20th, and in that package was the original legislation that had been pulled from the agenda, which is what I was prepared to vote on after reviewing it over the weekend and confirming it went passed out of committee. Since I received no further correspondence that changes had been made. Approximately 1 hour before the committee meeting, I received the red line copy of the policy with changes made that did not include any discussion or input from myself and, as I understand it, a couple other council members. So when this legislation was originally discussed, we also included the fact that we were going to make a certain amount and then increase that amount next year. None of that was in this legislation as it was red lines on this past Monday. That language was totally removed, and apparently it was done with only input from certain council members. I was not included on that. And even if we have a difference of opinion, I think that all council members should still be included on the discussion and not just folks who will agree to what's being said. We're all duly elected people here, and we should all have an opportunity to discuss and to make our positions heard. And I know that it was brought to the committee an hour before, but that is generally not how it's done. There's discussion had, and then when the changes are made, then it's brought to the committee. That's not what happened here. This process was flawed, in my opinion, and I really also feel that it was a flagrant abuse of power to not include other council members. So with that, I vote no.
Okay, Ms. Zaluski-Wells-Innes?
I vote yes. I support Mr. Gardner and what he's trying to get accomplished here. And I vote yes.
Okay, Ms. Peraza?
Well, I certainly agree with what Mr. Garfield has had to say about this process. Given the fact that I was out of country made a difference on my ability to have input, but again, it seems like there wasn't a lot of transparencies in this. There wasn't a lot of information offered in advance for consideration or input from all the council members, and I really struggled with that. Where we got to, I understand all sides were pleased with, and so it's a reasonable at best outcome. But I really would like to see more open conversation about these things in the future. It seems like we're becoming less and less transparent all the time, and as a fully democratic council, I think it's something we need to be very cognizant of. That being said, I do vote yes for the legislation.
Ms. Patrick?
Yes, I want to first say that in meeting with Mr. Gardner, I feel really confident about everything that he has planned to really make sure that we're going to be able to benefit as many local small businesses as we can and get many more certified as minority and women-owned business-owned enterprises. So I vote yes.
Mr. Palomini?
The main piece of this legislation is actually tied with the Section 3 component. And honestly, the amount of money that we put in here, to some extent, wouldn't matter without the enforcement piece that's included in the Section 3. And that's really the piece that's very, very important to making sure that the small businesses and local businesses have an opportunity to participate and get these contracts. What Mr. Gardner put together, I think, in the end is a very solid piece. Everybody had their opportunities to communicate this and their discussion in the committee meetings. And with that, I vote yes.
Mr. Mutavaran?
Yeah, let me just address Ms. Porterfield comment. Mr. Gardner has worked diligently on this document, and it is my understanding through Mr. Gardner that he have reached out to council member. He was working very hard to get the document, to revise it, and to resubmit to the council based on the discussion that Mr. Gardner was having with council member and the administration and union officials. So it's the understanding that there were open communication via Mr. Gardner. And we took it upon that he is the one who is driving this policy and to make this amendment and to work with everyone at the same time so that this can be fruitful on his side. So I want to take this opportunity to commend him for his diligence and to work on his document to reach we can move forward with a document. There's nothing that anyone that was hiding from anybody. It was open process. Everyone was involved. Ms. Porterfield was involved. Mr. Gardner was in communication with Ms. Porterfield on this document and the Section 3 document also. So, it's a process. We were back and forward trying to get something that we can pass that is workable and that can give Mr. Gardner the opportunity that he needed to do his work more efficiently. I vote yes.
Item number 1 passes with 6 votes yes and 1 no.
Thank you. The next item is privilege of the floor regarding city business. Same again here. I ask that the public please submit your comments to our city clerk for it to be added to the minutes. Okay, miscellaneous business of the council. My colleagues.
Mr. Mudavaren, may I go first?
Sure.
So, first of all, I want to thank the mayor for his leadership during this very difficult time that we're all facing with the coronavirus. He took some tough measures, closing down the playgrounds at the parks and really, stepping things up and keeping the public well informed. I put him right up there with our governor. The highlight of my day is actually listening to the governor's press conferences. I think he's done a fabulous job. Just a reminder, everybody needs to stay home and stay safe. The other thing that we have coming is the census. There's still, while everyone is home and staying safe, this is a good opportunity for everyone to get on and complete the census forms to ensure that we have a good count. I think it's going to be even more difficult because of the fact that we are having this social distancing, that people should be able to get on their computers and get themselves counted. I'm not sure what the summer's going to bring as far as us being able to have people out going door to door. I guess we'll just have to stay tuned on that. The other thing is I want to commend the police officers and their leadership under Chief Clifford. They're continuing to do the book reading for the students that they would normally go into school with. They're doing it on Facebook. So I think that's been well received. I've seen a few of them, and it's a good way for us to stay connected with the students that are in this new world of learning from home. So I want to thank you, Mr. Mudavaren, for putting this together. And this has not been this has been kind of challenging with trying to get everybody on their different technology. I think if we all had the same technology, we wouldn't hear as much feedback. But I want to thank my colleagues for really stepping up and taking part in this meeting and ensuring that the city is moving forward in a good manner. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. President, yes, this is Carmel. May I make some announcements? I just also,
please go ahead.
Thank you. I wanted to add my thanks to Ms. Zaluski-Baljunas. The mayor, the police, the fire have all been, really stepping up to the plate in this crisis. And I think the county for the work that they're doing, especially the food delivery work. I give a big shout out to the library staff who over at the Boys and Girls Club, and to the Boys and Girls Club for opening their space to all that is being done there to help those in our community. And I also wanted to just point out that there's so many resources available for parents to use to, having to homeschool their kids and looking for ways to fill up lots of hours every day. So we keep sharing those on Facebook. And there's really some fun stuff for that. There's fun stuff that the library's doing every day that WMHT has. So I'm thrilled that the youth are going to be able to stay learning, and that the families are really having this opportunity to come together and communicate with one another in a way that, for a lot of us hasn't been happening for a long time. So I commend everybody for doing what they're doing right now. Thanks.
So I just
Thank
want to
you.
also offer, I'm sorry, Mr. President.
Go ahead, Ms. Porterfield.
Yes, I just also want to offer my thanks to all the first responders, and also a special thanks to those in the medical field, which I had the unfortunate circumstance of having to go to the hospital, and they are just under some stress there, but doing a really good job and getting people taken care of. And so I think I know that we didn't start this meeting with prayer, but all of us should definitely offer our prayers for all those first responders and folks out there on the ground all day, every day, getting this done. I can't thank them enough. And also, Ms. Zalewski also talked about the census, but I also want to remind folks that they have pushed the date out. So there will be people, once we're out of the situation, there will be people going door to door. And also, they're still actually looking for people to apply for jobs. So for those who want to apply now, we have a little bit more time, but they can go ahead and go online and apply. And so once the census takers actually are going door to door, there will be people on the street. But like I said, that's been pushed out until July right now. So, and thank you also for for this meeting. Hopefully we will get to the point where we can actually see each other in the meeting. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Mayor?
Hello. Appreciate the kind words from the council. Want to thank the public for their cooperation. And again, compliment the great work of the staff, police, fire, codes, our finance office, the Bureau of Service, picking up garbage. Everybody's doing a great job in difficult times. We put out a notice where we were not going to be able to pick up yard waste. The county compost facility is actually just closed right now to the public. They're going to take municipal waste in. So we're planning to start picking up the yard waste maybe as soon as Wednesday, April 1st, but definitely by Monday, April 6th. So if people will have the opportunity to do some yard work this weekend, of course, make sure you stay 6 feet away from any of your family members or neighbors. But we will pick that up hopefully starting Wednesday, but definitely on Monday. Again, we're still going to go through some difficult times ahead of us. This virus is still spreading. And so I cannot overemphasize that the best way to avoid it is not to get it to begin with. And to do that, you have to wash your hands, you have to stay in your home, minimize your travel, and just be appropriately cautious as we go through this. If you do that, we're all going to get through this, and again, we'll be a stronger community going forward. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Just to add my few comments, I just, like my colleagues, just want to commend the first responders and everybody who is on the front line through these difficult times. It is not easy out there. We are hearing the news, and it's not something that any one of us wanted to hear on a daily basis. So I want to thank everyone who's out there providing the necessary service to the people who are affected. and especially the seniors. We know Mr. Koja and the county and a few others are working diligently to provide from the county side and also from the city side to provide the necessary resource to our senior and the people who are in need of services. So I want to thank all those who are involved in that process also, and also want to commend Mayor McCarthy for his communication to the residents of Schenectady and to bring the community aware of what is going on out there. I want to commend Mayor McCarthy and the staff for putting that out there. Is very good. Please continue to do that. Our residents are looking forward for those communications so they can know what is out there and what is going on out there. Thank you all, and thank you everyone for joining the teleconference meeting. I appreciate it. This is the first time we're doing the council meeting through this, and I think we went through pretty well. So I want to thank everyone for that.
Thank you,
Motion to
Mr.
May I have a motion?
Ed
Motion
Kosher,
to
motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Everyone be safe out there.
Thank
Good
you.
evening.
Marion Porterfield.
Has left the meeting.
Ed Kosher.
Has left the meeting. A participant has left the meeting.
Dan.
Has left the meeting.